Hey friends, and welcome to our video lecture on the legislative branch called Congress in a Flash. As we go through this video, make sure you're filling out your guided notes and answering the questions provided in EdPuzzle. So after this video, your goal is to be able to answer this question. Describe the roles and powers granted to the legislative branch and explain its relationship to the American people. So first, what is Congress? Well, the legislative branch is the lawmaking branch of our federal government. They meet in Washington, D.C. to make federal laws. These are laws that impact all 50 states and all people living in each of those states. Congress, as we've already talked about, is bicameral, which is a fancy Latin phrase for meaning two chambers. The two chambers are called the Senate and the House of Representatives, as seen in the image to the right. These two chambers will be discussed more in future slides, but both were created in Article 1 of the Constitution. So why does Congress matter? Well, it matters because it creates laws that not only impact our lives, but reflect the needs and wants of all U.S. citizens and U.S. residents. They serve the nation as a whole by representing each individual state's interests. This is the job of senators. So senators represent entire states, whereas representatives who work in the House of Representatives work and are the voice of the interests of specific state districts. As you can see in the map of Pennsylvania above at the top of this multicolored map, each of those little segments that are numbered between 16 and 1 is a specific House district in Pennsylvania. So each of those color-coded sections has one House representative in the federal Congress. This ensures representation from diverse interests across each state and across the country. They play a crucial role in the systems of checks and balances. So what does Congress look like? What's the setup and what's the framework? Well, as discussed before, it's made up of two chambers. The first and upper house, which we'll call the Senate, has 100 total members today. It has 100 total members because there are two from each state, and we have 50 states. So the Senate, each state is equal in its power and influence when passing laws. The requirements to become a senator are that they must be at least 30 years of age. They must be a U.S. citizen for at least 9 years, and they will represent each entire state for a total of 6-year terms. So once they've served 6 years in the Senate, they must run again to win re-election. In the House of Representatives, which is sometimes referred to as the lower house, there are 435 total members. That number was settled upon a couple of decades back, but that number is derived from the number of people within each state. So each state in the House of Representatives may have more or less representatives based on how large or small their state population may be. Representatives must be, if they wish to run and win office, 25 years of age. They must be a U.S. citizen for at least 7 years, and they